Somebody said, your burger has magic. The basic science is that when you smash a ball of beef, you start to render the fat. Then you salt it, and the salt starts to mix with the rendered beef fat. Then you add the onions. And now you have this wild experiment going on. Onions are trapped into that patty. They can't go anywhere. Then you have beef steam. You put the cheese and the bun on top, and now you have this science experiment where the beef and onion steam is now permeating the cheese. And you're making me hungry. I'm making myself hungry right now. Sorry. What we're doing is we're recreating classic American burgers, and as authentically as possible. Every morning we prep beef, which means we ball and portion beef. This is Donaldo. Donaldo's one of our great prep cooks. Look at the beef. See what it looks like? See the color of that? It's pink. It's not red and white, it's pink. It's been finely ground, and that's how you make a great smash burger. The tighter the grind, the more chance it has to smash and not break up on the griddle. We get 75-25 straight chuck primal from Schweid & Sons. We get a lot of it. We portion it into balls. Now I didn't make this up. This is just a way to ensure that every burger is the same size by portioning it this way. This is the perfect size. And you saw the way he's doing it. Look at that. Every ball is exactly the same. People think it's used for ice cream, but we like to use them for burgers. So 75-25 is not recommended for people who cook at home. It can get kind of fatty. And if you have a lot of fat on your grill or even inside, you can cause a grease fire pretty quickly. It's best left to the professionals to use a higher fat content burger. We'll probably do 400 pounds today, maybe? Yeah, it's a lot. We only use sweet onion. It's Vidalia sweet onion. It comes from Peru. If I'm working on the griddle, I know if they come from Mexico or the US. I can tell right away, ooh, those are definitely Peruvian. They're sweeter, they slice better, they break down easier. This is the onion slicing going on down here. I've got about 5 minutes before I start to cry. So this is the machine we use. I used to cut onions on a deli slicer. I think every onion was about 120 slices, back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would count. And I would get up with like this pile, see right here? And that would have taken me what I call dark side of the moon. Because what I would do, I would listen to the dark side of the moon. It would take me dark side of the moon to slice that much. It just took this machine maybe 10 seconds to do that. That's why we're doing it. We probably go through, just today alone, 250 pounds, you know? Before there was ketchup and mustard and everything else, the onion was the first condiment. First time I had an onion burger in Oklahoma, I was like, I can't eat that. I can't eat that many onions. I saw them piling up onions, like, oh, I can't eat that. And I took a bite and I'm like, oh, that's fine. It's almost like candy. I do believe that the hamburger is one of the only food inventions of the last 125 years in America. It was ethnic food that came from Germany. It was actually called steak in the style of Hamburg, which was shortened to, or flipped to Hamburg steak, which then became a hamburger. It became officially an American food, an iconic American food, at some point in the 1880s in the Midwest at state fairs. Bun storage. We're actually low on buns right now. This will probably get us through the day, but we have another delivery coming in soon, especially for the weekend. We'll go through 3 times this in the weekend for sure. We used a lot of Martins, as you can see. Big fan of Martin's potato rolls, because it's basically one of the most perfect hamburger buns out there. They're a little denser, and they hold up to burger grease and toasting much better than just about any bun out there. A lot of buns, if you toast them, that involves heat, and steam goes through the bun and can start to break down the actual structure of the bun. But because this bun is so dense, it actually lasts a little bit longer in your hand. This is kind of the perfect bun for enjoying a hamburger. When you bite into a burger, the first thing that happens is your nose hits the top of the bun. And it's very important for the flavor profile of the first bite. And with Martin's potato rolls, the first thing you smell is yeast. And whenever you smell yeast, your brain says, "Ho, let's go, here we go, it's gonna be fun." And then there's all this crazy action that happens when you take your first bite. And depending on what's in that first bite, hopefully everything that's on the burger, it is going to only add to that experience. Your brain has already been exposed to yeast and that complex compound, and it's just ready for whatever's next. We only have 3 burgers on the menu: the classic smash, the fried onion burger, but we have a special rotating burger called the monthly burger special. For example, right now we have the Doodle Burger on the menu. Doodle Burger comes from now closed Yankee Doodle in New Haven, Connecticut. No one's had this burger in 16 years before we put it on the menu, and people actually got worked up. We had people crying at the counter. We're gonna make a Doodle Burger. We always set up our specials over here in this corner. The bun, it's from Rockland Bakery. It's a pretty standard, small version of a classic white squishy bun. It is the closest thing we could find to what they made at the Yankee Doodle 16 years ago. We're using actually a smaller ball. This is actually a 2-ounce ball. They had smaller patties. It would be too big if it was 3 ounce. So 100% chuck, 75-25. In the case of the Doodle, there are people who've actually tried to recreate the Doodle, and I was shocked at how they really just didn't get it right. They didn't look at the details. I had to get in the head of Rick Beckwith Jr., the grandson of the Beckwith family who ran the Doodle at the very end before he closed it. So this burger only gets salt for seasoning, and it also gets a tiny pinch of onion right in the center. That's the way Rick did it. Rick didn't really care about spreading it out. He would use yellow American cheese. He would use the cheapest hothouse tomatoes. We've tried to recreate that burger exactly the way it was, because there's something about all those cheap-ass elements together really create a great burger and a great burger experience. And so we created a burger that really generated sense memory. We do this to keep it authentic. So I wanted to make sure we're getting it right. So I asked a bunch of friends of mine who remembered the Doodle. So I called some friends who went to Yale and who grew up in New Haven and said, did I get it right? And all of them said, 100%, you nailed it. The only thing I got wrong, the beef was better. But every time we make one of these monthly burger specials, it blows my mind that we can actually pull it off. Even the way we have it on the plate was exactly the way the Beckwiths did it back in the day, where it was served open face, served with a small paper ramekin full of red relish. And people look at me and say, what do you do next? I said, what do you think? I said, I think I pick up the red relish and I squeeze it on top. Exactly. I love this burger. This is the bun toaster. This is one of the greatest things we have in the restaurant. It's also fascinating because this is all butter. See, it's all butter. Ooh, see that? It's so basic. I'll show you how this thing works. Butter on there, drop in there. Toaster, that's it. Well, it's very Willy Wonka. It's got drippy stuff happening and it's in the open. It's a wise piece of hamburger machinery. We need it because we toast probably 1,500 buns a day. So I'm gonna start by making 2 onion burgers and 2 all the way singles. How's that sound? At this point, the Oklahoma fried onion burger is now 102 years old. The other burger on the menu is sort of an amalgamation of what I consider to be one of the most classic, best burgers in America, the classic smash, but specifically All the Way, which we call All the Way, which is mustard, onion, pickle, MOP, M-O-P. That's it. So it's basically diced onion, a small squirt of mustard, and 2 dill pickle chips, and that's it. And that is pretty classic to the Midwest. So, onion burger gets onions, obviously, first. The smash method only came about for speed because the guys who were selling hamburgers back in the day were usually set up outside of factories, and factory workers only had a short lunch. They'd eat quick. They had to feed a lot of factory workers at the same time. Smashing a patty meant speed. That was it. These are mine. I made these. These are custom made. We have them made at a metal shop in Argentina, but it weighs a pound. It weighs 1 pound. And the angle and everything is designed just for the way I like to make burgers. There's a point at about 7 minutes in when you're cooking, at the right temperature and the right ingredients and everything. About 7 minutes in, the onions break. Almost in the same way like you break down the connective tissue in brisket after like 12 hours, whatever it is, when you're smoking brisket. There's that moment where it just breaks, just gives up. And like, okay, I give up, and that's when it tastes the best. So these are called a setup, the bun setup, right? This is the best way to make sure your bun is ready for the burger. The reason it's been done for years is because this is a very simple way to make sure the buns stay soft. But the buns are already soft as they are, but the buns will collect a lot of airborne beef grease and onion steam. That's all onion steam happening right there. A lot of onion burger guys smash, mash, put it to the side, cook it for 7-8 minutes, and then serve it. I actually like to observe what's going on. I've taught all of our cooks to be part of the process, to actually be aware of what you're doing. Fry dump. So somebody asked me, why are these fries so good? I said, because they're sitting at the counter. I said, they only traveled 9 feet to get to your mouth. That's why they're so good. I'll make one of my favorite sodas. You ready? Check this out. First slice, right? You ready for this one? You watching? Skip Diet Coke. Go to Coke. This is a drink called the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor is from a burger spot in North Carolina called What a Burger. Not What a Burger, but What a Burger. The reason this is so good is because the pickle adds a complexity that you wouldn't normally find in a soda. It's not like a one-note sweet soda. It's like a 2-note, 3-note soda with the complexity of garlic and vinegar, basically, in your soda. It's on the off menu. Maybe it's a secret. I feel like it's been my life mission to make sure that people appreciate the American hamburger on a much more complex, deeper level. There's a lot more to the origin stories of all of these burgers. And I wanted to point out that in America, regional diversity abounds. There's so much going on out there in the world of hamburgers that people just don't realize. Even I don't realize yet. Counter's pretty full right now. This is nice. We're off and running. It's only the beginning of the day. We're open for another 10 hours, 11 hours today. The customer experience really should be positive. People walk up to me and they say, it just feels so good in here. I feel like my job is to make people happy through hamburgers.